Hey, 7th grade, we are continuing our unit on scale factor. Today you are drawing shapes using scale factor, and you will need a ruler, so hopefully you have one or you can borrow one. So we have three main goals. Goal number one, be able to define the terms radius, diameter, and right triangle. These should be pretty familiar, but we will be going over a recap of this in the video. Goal number two, be able to find new dimensions using scale factor, and that's exactly what you did on your assignment yesterday. And then goal number three is be able to draw and label similar shapes. I'm going to underline similar shapes. Similar shapes. So, similar shapes are shapes that are adjusted proportionally, so they are enlarged or reduced using a scale factor. Some of you are not watching these videos and wondering why you're struggling on the assignments. If you watch the example problems, pause the video, and rewatch it, you're going to find that all of the examples are exactly like the homework problems. So take advantage of watching these videos. All right, so I have drawn a circle next to the word diameter. And I am going to type so you don't have to look at too much of my handwriting. So, diameter, start with a definition. This is the distance from one end of the circle to the other through the middle. So the larger the circle, the bigger the diameter. So in this case, the diameter of the circle would look something like this. Oh, it needs to go all the way through. I'm struggling on lines here. So the diameter goes all the way through the circle, but it needs to go through the middle. The radius, this is similar. This is the distance from one end of the circle to the middle of the circle. This is half the length of the diameter. So the radius of a circle starts in the center and goes to the edge. Now, my pictures are not perfect, but the definition stays the same. So because the radius starts in the middle, it can go in any direction. Right? We could have our radius go this way, make it look like a clock. And that means that the radius, because it's to the middle, is exactly half of the diameter. A right triangle. So a right triangle is simply a triangle that forms a right angle. And not all triangles do this, but right triangles are nice because they are easy. And a right triangle is labeled with this box, which represents a right angle. So if you draw a triangle that is meant to be a right triangle, draw that little box in the corner of the right angle, or the 90-degree angle, so that way people know that it is a right angle. Okay, examples. A rectangular window has dimensions of 2 feet by 8 inches. Draw a picture of a window with a scale factor of 1/6. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what our new dimensions are. So we are going to multiply both 2 feet and 8 inches by 1/6. So our new dimensions are going to be 2 feet times 1/6 and 8 inches times 1/6. And this here will get us 1/3 of a foot. And we know that is the same as 4 inches. And 8 inches times 1/6. That gives us 8/6, or 4/3 of an inch. And that's the same as 1 1/3. So I know that I need to draw a rectangle that has dimensions of 4 inches by 1/3 of an inch. And I am not going to measure on this video, but if you were doing this on your assignment, you would take your ruler, you would draw your best line possible. That would be 4 inches long. So I'm just guessing here. And then the other dimension would be 1 1/3 inch. I have no idea if that rectangle is close or not, but yours with a ruler should be close. The important part at the end is to label. So I have 4 inches and I have 1 1/3 inch. And that would be how we do a problem like that. So I multiplied the dimensions of 2 feet and 8 inches by 1/6, and that got me the scale factor. And once I found the new dimensions of 4 inches and 1 1/3 inch, that gave me the length and width of the rectangle to draw. If you are working on one of these problems and you feel like this picture would be way too big for a piece of paper, double check your work, because that means you made a mistake. Question 2. A friend has a pool that is 100 feet by 300 feet. Create a scale drawing with a scale factor of 1/600th. So we start with 100 feet and 300 feet. We are multiplying both of those by 1/600. Because there's no way we want to draw a picture that is 100 feet by 300 feet. So this will give us 1/6 of a foot. And we can say that is 2 inches. And here, 300 times 1 is 300. So 300/600 is 1/2 of a foot. And that will give us 6 inches. So the rectangle that we need to draw, and again, you're using a ruler, I am not. And it doesn't matter what way we go. So we're going 2 inches, and then we're going 6 inches. I think that's a little short, but that's okay. I'm going to label 2 inches and 6 inches. So again, I found the new dimensions, and then I drew my rectangle. If you want to find the new dimensions on one sheet of paper and have all your drawings on the other, that would be perfectly fine. Okay, number 3. A friend wants a pizza that has a radius of 8 inches. So that would look like this. We would have a pizza, and the radius, and this is obviously not to scale, the radius would be 8 inches. How big would the radius be if a version of the circle is drawn with a reduction by the scale factor of 1/4? So I am not making you draw any circles today. So even on your assignment, the questions that have circles, you are not drawing a picture. But if we had a scale factor of 1/4, we would do 8 inches times 1/4, and 1/4 of 8 would be a radius of 2 inches. So we would have a circle where the radius going from the middle to the edge would be 2 inches long. Those are tough to draw, so that's why you are not having to draw any of these for the assignment. All right, number 4, a right triangle has a base of 1 inch, base of 1 inches and a height of 2 inches. Draw a version of this right triangle with a scale factor of 3/2. So I have 1 inch, I have 2 inches. I'm multiplying both of those by 3/2. That, of course, leaves our base of 1.5 inches and our height of 3 inches. So if I was drawing a triangle, my base would be perfectly straight, 1.5 inches, and the height would be 3 inches, and I would label. This is the second class example. All right. A square has sides that are 5 inches long. Draw a version of this square with a scale factor of 1/10. So, of course, a square has 4 equal sides, but now we're going to shrink that. So we're doing 5 inches multiplied by 1/10. That would equal 1/2 of an inch. So the square that I am drawing, each side is going to be 1/2 inch. So that is pretty small. Let's say it's roughly that size, and then I just need to label 1/2 inch. That is our square. A right triangle has a height of 1/2 inch and a base of 3/4 of an inch. Draw a similar triangle with a scale factor of 4. So we want to make this triangle bigger. Going 1/2 for the base times 4, which gives us 2 inches, and 3/4 inches times 4, and that gives us 3 inches. So now our height is going to be 2 inches. So I'm going to draw 2 inches, and our base is going to be 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. This is a right triangle, so I'm going to label my 90-degree angle. I'm going to label 3 inches and 2 inches. If you could do all these problems in the examples, that means you're going to be able to do your short assignment today. Find the new dimensions, draw your pictures with ruler, take your time and do your best, and don't forget to label. Good luck.